Hi, I'm Rebecca, and welcome to my podcast, Smashing Through with Rebecca.x. I am so excited you're here on this episode. Topics include life, business, mindset, full of kick-ass content and high energy. Enjoy the podcast, and remember, you too can smash through and keep going always. Asking yourself questions changes your life. The reason is you'll be getting much more clarity from the answers when you can really sit down and ask yourself the very, hard, difficult testing questions, and you get to write the answers yourself, get everything out your brain on paper. However, a fancy but, however, there's a thing that you've got to do. Are you ready? You've got to be honest with yourself. And I mean truly, truly honest with yourself. You really have to show up to your life, being honest, being true. There's no point in blanket covering anything and pretending things. So when you are asking the difficult questions to yourself, or why am I feeling this way? What is going on? What happened in the past that's holding me back? That's making me feel as though I'm not worthy and not good enough. You need to be honest with yourself and call it out. Okay, so as you're journaling, as you're asking yourself these questions, and you're actually fathoming things out and, all of this, you can actually then, with being crystal clear with yourself, gaining clarity, but being honest, you can really get to the source and core of the reason in order to then step into, right, okay, you've shone a great big torchlight on the issue at hand, why you're feeling that way, where it came from, where it stemmed from, and now you've got information that actually you can move forward with. So the next question after any of that would be, how does it make me feel? Do I feel shame? Do I feel upset? Do I feel anger? Resentment? Do I feel bitter towards that person? And things like that, and going through the emotional side of everything. So you've got the source and the core and the reason of why and what they've said and done and all of this. Then you've got the feeling aspect of things. And then the next thing then for you to journal, okay, is then to say, well, how is this affecting my life? Does this feel good to me? The answer is no, straight out the gate. But does this feel good? How is it affecting my life? What's it holding me back from? What's it stopping me from? Really going through many different questions, and you can ask yourself all different types of questions, not just the ones that I've mentioned on this episode. When you can really ask yourself a big question and journal it out and work it out, you then are crystal clear on, right, okay, well, this isn't serving me, this doesn't align with me, this isn't true, this isn't real, this is a story, this doesn't exist anymore, I don't want to keep carrying this forward. Then you're at your starting line. Okay, everything up until that starting line has made you the version of yourself that you are today. Right now, listen to me. But you don't have to carry the upset, the overwhelm, the shame, the bitterness, the anger, the rage inside of you over that line forward in your life. You've got something to work with. You've got something to work from. It's entirely up to you whether you invest in someone like myself to actually help you along this journey, to ask you the questions, to really help you to shine a light and see where things are, or whether you do it yourself. It's entirely up to you. Disclaimer, I would definitely recommend getting someone to help you along your journey, to support, especially if they're qualified, okay? But the thing is that then you can release all the past pain. You can then focus on where you're going and what you're doing and how you want to feel and how you're going to reframe and change and focus on the new stuff, on the amazing, beautiful life, an amazing, incredible, remarkable life that you've got ahead of you. That's right now, right here, right now, present in the moment. But you can release and let go of everything else. And yes, you may have been through traumatic stuff. Some of us have. that you need to, not put a blanket cover on and a white picket fence and everything's hunky-dory and everything's fine, because you do need to heal. You do need to do the inner mindset work, the inner child work. You do need to nurture and nourish and look after the inner child inside of you, because the 7-year-old version of you will be so proud of you right now of where you are and what you've done, what you've accomplished. But the 7-year-old version of you is still inside of you, still scared, shameful, fearful, whatever is going through. And I'm using that as an example. So it could be a past relationship. It could be you in your 20s. That version of you is still inside of you, holding you back, stopping you because you've not healed, you've not processed, you've not navigated. That's it. Or you have to a certain point, but then something happens, a trigger happens, and you're flashback straight back to that particular scenario. It's a bit like, stay with me on this. So it's a bit like a song comes on from the past and you are transported, like it's like Back to the Future, transported straight away back to that environment in your head, that environment where you were, who you were with, what you were saying, what you were doing, whether you were in a club, whether you were in the car, journeying somewhere, whatever. A song can transport you straight back. There's a funeral song that my nan had that I can listen to now, okay? My nan passed away many years ago, but one of the songs at my mum's funeral, I still cannot listen to. It's on my phone, it's on an album on my phone, but I can't listen to that song. I'm not ready yet. And you know what? That's okay. That's okay. Because it'll transport me straight away. All I hear is a couple of bars before the singers actually started singing. It's just a couple of bars. I'm like, no, turn it off, because I can't do that emotion right now. But I know I can in the future, and I'm giving myself that grace period and going with the flow, because I've done it with Nan's songs, so I can do it with my mum. There's living proof there that I can do it. And if I hadn't got that proof of myself, I can borrow someone else's, like a dear friend of mine, that their parents, when they passed away, they had a certain song at their funeral. I'm like, well, she's done it, well, so can I. So I kind of borrow their, not confidence, but borrow their proof that they've done it, so can I. So it gives me that little step forward, if you know what I mean. So if you haven't got anything as an example for yourself, you can borrow someone else's. But you know what? I will listen to that song. But that was an example of how you can be transported from one place to another straight away, because the brain remembers stuff, all right? But you need to heal from all of it. And as I'm saying this, my mum as I record this and I'm saying this, my mum only passed away 4 years ago. So it's not as if it's like 20 years ago, do you know what I mean? It's still new, shall we say. And every single person's grief is different. Every single person's path and journey is different as well, right? So the thing is, the reason why I brought that up is that in order to heal, you need to work on everything every single day. You need to process and navigate the season. And to help you, asking yourself questions can really change your life, because it can really give you the clarity on, actually, they said that like 20 years ago. Why am I still carrying that right now? Why am I still living in that moment right now? Why am I allowing it to sabotage my future when actually that was 20 years ago? Like, I need to start healing and start processing things and move forward, because I don't want to carry this on. Also, it's making me feel icky. It's not actually adding any value. And it actually isn't true, because that's their belief. That's what they thought. You know what I mean? So as an example, to help you to kind of see this even clearer, is that you may be raising, if you've got children, you may have raised your children differently to how you were raised, because you didn't want them to go through what you've been through. Do you get me? You can change anything like that with a decision, with a moment, with a conversation, with a question. Did this feel good? No, don't do it. Always follow your gut. It's your inner compass. Always follow your gut with everything. I did not raise my children the same way that I was raised. The experiences that I've been through growing up, my children didn't experience, and I'm proud of that. They've experienced different stuff, obviously, we all do, but they didn't experience and weren't in the environment that I was in growing up. And as I said, I'm very proud of that. So really identify yourself within your environment, your story, your life, your journey so far, your path, and know that you can literally change anything. Do not let the past hold you back. Do not let any of your past decisions or actions stop you from having a fulfilled, positive, amazing life. You don't want to live with regrets and what ifs. We're not here for long. And it's not fair, and it's very rare that I actually say that word, but it's not fair for you to punish yourself, your soul, your mindset for stuff that you did, 20, 30 years ago, 15 years ago, whatever. However, there are certain circumstances where people do need to be, reprimanded, punished, thrown in jail, whatever, for stuff that they did do, if you get me drift. I'm very clear on that, but we're not going to discuss that. That's a whole different another episode, which I don't speak about people who've done awful things. However, your life is yours for the taking, so grasp it with both hands. You don't want to be given a timer and then be panicking about, oh, you've not done this, you've not done that, you've not healed from this, blah, blah, blah. Because you are going to sit there and ask yourself the question of, why did I hold on for this for so long? Why did I not release and let go of this? Why did I not heal from this? Well, guess what? Here it is. This is your opportunity right now to heal from the past, to ask yourself the really important questions. And the key is to be honest in order to call things out for what they are, see them without the rose-tinted glasses on or excuses being given to whatever it was, and just go, do you know what? Yeah, we're not doing this anymore. I'm moving forward with the rest of my life. Because you cannot go forward, moving forward for the next 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years of the rest of your life, because we never know when our time is up. You need to release and let go. You cannot be carrying the burden, the guilt, the shame, the fear, the anger, the upset, the bitterness, the sadness, the resentment, the regret, the what ifs, all of that. It's too much baggage. Honestly, give yourself permission today. Sending you lots of love, and I'll see you on the next episode.